Right, morning guys, it's Sean here back with another video here on Talk Up TV, and I'm sitting in the BYD this morning, ATTO3, and there's a few things I want to address in this video that's come to light through messages I've received and stuff like that, so I'll deal with those in a bit later. But to start off, first of all, I always say I will cover any update that we get on the BYD ATTO3, no matter how small or insignificant it might appear. Just because we just never know quite what you're going to get. Now, if you go into the details on here, it just says optimizing AC charging performance. So that is not something which I'm really going to say. I don't know quite what that means by AC charging performance. Not unless we're getting 22 kilowatt charging out of this, which would be a considerable thing. Because AC optimizing it would mean, like, performance would mean getting the amount, but I mean on a slow charge you're going to get the stated rate amount anyway. But we'll go into it, we'll see, and we'll also see if anything else comes up on it. It does say it's a 6-minute let's press the upgrade button. Okay, we've got to be above 20%, which we are. It's in P gear, which is also in. Vehicle status checked, so upgrade will start in 24 seconds. I've already just press upgrade, can I? Yeah, just do it before that, yeah, okay. So while that's doing that, it's going to do its stuff now. I'll have a couple of questions. Now, I've had quite a lot of messages saying I'm really harsh on the BYD, especially since I've got the Skoda recently. I've been sort of doing some comparisons and I'm really tough on the BYD, etc., etc., etc. And the thing is, I'm not paid by BYD, to start off with. Let's get that point really clear. But probably more importantly than that, I just want to be honest with people, because this is a family-sized car. Now, most of my criticisms come around charging and driving dynamics, if you like. You've got to look at the UK and what the UK's situation is around electric vehicles. We are getting more and more cars coming to the UK from various places around the world, whatever. And at the end of the day, you know, to be fair about it, there's a lot of choice out there. So BYD are a massive company. I mean, they've got over 100,000 just working in China alone in their Shanghai department that are doing all kinds of things relating to software, engineering, design, etc., 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 on all their vehicles. Yeah, and they're chatting out with this. Just recently, the BYD Dolphin Surf has come out. I hope to try and get a loaner for that, where I can maybe take that out and go for that. But the point I'm trying to make is on this video is that it is pointless in me doing videos and not being honest about what I find. I have to be honest about what I find. And I've always maintained, I've never, ever, ever said that this is a poor car. Never. I've never said that this is a poor car in any way, shape or form. But what I have said about this car is that there's a lot of things that it could potentially improve on, you know? And one of them is around charging speed. This company, BYD, they used to be a battery maker. So their originating thing was batteries. Okay, so they bought this amazing battery called the Blade battery, and I think it is amazing. It's one of the safest batteries that you can buy, etc., and everything. But there's a common theme I'm noticing with BYD, and that's their charging performance is very, very poor. You know, even on some of the new cars that's going to be coming out, the BYD ATTO2 is going to be charging at about 60 kilowatts. I mean, you know, that's a little bit smaller than a BYD ATTO3. The ATTO3, as you know, charges at 88, 89 is roughly the maximum you're going to see there. I mean, anything under 150 now, unless it's a small town runaround. The Dolphin Surf, I think, charges at 85. I would say that's fine, because that's going to give you a 27 to 29, maybe 30-minute charging time, and that's all you need. And you're probably not going to be road tripping that car particularly very much. I think it's got a range of 200 when that car comes out. I'll put up a few pictures of the Dolphin Surf here for you to have a look at in case you haven't seen the car yet. There's a few reviews coming out about it there. So for me personally, I've got to be fair and honest about what I find with this car. And I've always said it's got great storage, it's got great size. You know, the interior is brilliant. You can get full-size adults in the back here, comfortable, no problem. And I've always stated that for 90% of what you're probably going to be driving, this car will be absolutely fine. But what I don't want to do is come out here and just say, oh, it's perfect in every way. And then people will buy it and then they think, you know what? I don't think I really agree with that, you know, and well, not even say perfect, but just, you know, this is a good car, but it could be so much better if it just charged better, if it just, the dynamics of the driving were a bit better. It's a bit wallowy. It's a bit, nah, sometimes with the driving dynamics of the car. You can, I think I've shown this before in other videos, you can sharpen up the steering response a bit so you get a bit more feedback when you're driving. But of course, it's not a sports car or something. I fully understand that. But at the end of the day, even though it's not a sports car, it still is a car which, you know, it's not without its things, as I say. What I will say though, and this is the second update I've had in a few days. This is for AC charging. So it doesn't, I don't do a lot of AC charging. I don't know quite what that means by AC charging performance. The only thing I can think of on there is they may be increasing it to 22 kilowatt charging, which would be a massive improvement because that would obviously give you faster AC charging around towns and stuff like that, where you could actually plug it in, go shopping, come back and have a reasonable amount of percentage, where obviously with a 7.4 kilowatt sort of charging roughly on the slow chargers that you're going to park at supermarkets and stuff like that, it's actually not worth even plugging in for the time that you're going to be in the shopping, and when you come out you're going to put 3% in or whatever. Whereas a 22 kilowatt is something a bit more substantial, and you can probably get a decent bit of mileage in it and make it worth it. So AC charging is only really viable with home charging, of course, number one, and the faster, I think it does 11 kilowatts, the BYD. So whether there's any change in that program on here, I don't know, or whether there's been some issues with AC charging at up to 11 kilowatts, I don't know if that's an issue as well. If it said optimizing DC charging, then I would say, wow, maybe they're going to increase the speed of the DC charging, but it says AC on the list of things that this is supposed to be updating for. So that's what I wanted to really say. You know, in answer to those questions, I've always said this is a good car. There's nothing wrong. It's a well-built car. I've got no rattles and rolls. It's never had to go back to the garage or anything to have things done to it, apart from I had a nip on the back, which you know about a few months ago, but that's standard, you know, just get that repaired done. But what I mean is in terms of the mechanical side or anything other than changing tires once on the fronts, it's had barely any changes. I've had barely any issues with this. The infotainment system is always working perfectly. Like I said, I did have that issue with the aircon, which seemed to have got addressed on the last software update I did a couple of weeks back, because on that update it seemed to correct a lot of the things on the aircon. So because it used to sort of get hot in the summer when you stop at all, and all this kind of thing, never quite get hot enough in the winter. I thought really. Let me know in the comments down below if you've not noticed that problem, but that was definitely a problem. Seems to have been addressed with this last update. And then more things are going on to the BYD store now. So more entertainment stuff is coming on there, which is good to see. So I've got no issues with that. They don't do updates as much as some other companies do, but they're still doing reasonable updates. I mean, this is about my fourth or fifth since I had the car in 18 months. So they're not every month or something, but when they do them, they tend to chunk in a load of things and do it all in one go. I don't know why this one's come around so quick. Maybe they're starting to do more quicker updates now. I don't know. But anyway, but the BYD ATTO3, if you're in the market for one, please go and test drive one, see how you feel with it, and if it suits your need case, there we are. The only myth I've tried to disperse is on its charging, really, and the fact that when you're doing long road trips, this wouldn't be a very ideal car, especially in winter. You're looking at over an hour sitting there charging up to make it viable to go somewhere else, to move on to your next part of your journey. And because it's got a 60 kilowatt hour battery, you're only going to get 250, 260 miles at best. And in the winter, that's probably going to be a little under 200 is what you're going to get in the real world. So you've got to factor all that in. It's not brilliant in terms of efficiency, I must say. So again, if in this video I'm trying to do absolutely everything I can to put you off of it, it's only from a long distance driving part and all the rest of it. For 90% of the population, probably, and the people that are going to buy this car, unless they're a taxi driver or something like that, if they're just using it for all the things we tend to use our cars for most of the time, which is you go to a place of work and it takes you there, brings you home, dropping kids off to school, going shopping, doing all the day-to-day things that we do in our lives, this car is more than capable. And if you have a home charger and you're going to come in and plug it at home, then it's good to go, you know. And I definitely advise you to go and try this one out, because as I say, it's comfortable. I can sit in these seats for 2 or 3 hours. You don't feel stiff at all. There's plenty of space at the back there. It comes well equipped, you know, so you've got charging ports at the back there. You've got your I'll go over my backlog of videos if you want more detailed things about specific things in the car, and you'll find it there. But the long and short of it is that it's just been a really great, great car to have and to own. Really, I don't do massive miles. The furthest I tend to go is, I mean, I just done a couple of long road trips, but I did those in the Skoda, to be fair. But in this car, I mean, I've been to Bournemouth a few times, London, various places like that, where it's going out of its range and I have to charge up. And but I'm not doing going abroad in the car, or or any of that sort of stuff, which some people do in their cars. And then if that was the case, I would have to say probably not the best car for you in that regard. You know, right? We've just seen it come back on here. It says upgrade successful. Your vehicle has been upgraded to the latest version, which is the 8.3, essentially 8.3 version of it. I've probably got to fire that up now, because that's just come on to do that. So we'll fire it up, and we'll see if we can see anything. I don't know that this is going to be really much we can see on this, because at the end of the day, it says AC. It's mostly about AC charging. But what we'll do is we'll just have a quick glance around and see if there's actually anything on here which we can actually see that's changed, really, essentially. I don't quite know how to do that, though, because okay, everything looks the same there. Let's go into vehicle a minute. AC heating, is anything changed on that? Like I've said before, the aircon actually works quite well on this car. I've mentioned this in a few videos now, so I've really sort of done some great stuff to that. But anyway, it probably is a pointless video, this one, because it's probably not going to really show you very much in terms of anything else. Let's just see if they've added anything else into any of these other systems here. Let's have a little look, see if I can see anything different as such. Let's go into the BYD store and see if anything was added there. I don't think it will be, but I'll just have a little look. Doesn't look to be any difference. If you didn't catch my other video, a lot of these things came up here. So we've got obviously YouTube on here now, Calm Radio, which I quite like, actually, sort of thing. What's that down there? Let's have a look at that, updates. Let's have a look at the updates are for Calm Radio. We'll do that while we're here. So yeah, it's it's what can I say? It's a real, it's an okay car, you know. So if anybody knows why or how the what is actually happening with the AC charging, because it does say that this update is to do with optimizing better AC charging. Well, it only does up to 11 kilowatts anyway, and AC charging, there doesn't tend to be much of a variation in terms of the amount of energy coming into the car from the charger, really. So DC would have been something I'll do. What I will do the next time I charge the car up, we will take a look at it and see if we get anything different on that respect. But I don't think we probably will. But who knows, you know? So there are. So I'm getting 22.9 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. I'm on 64%, which is 181 miles. I've done 14,260 miles in this car now. In the just over 18 months I've had it, which is probably about average, really. Obviously, this time of the year, you're not going to really see very much uh, um, problems in terms of your charging speeds, in terms of getting the maximum. My criticism has always been it's just not fast enough. It should be faster, but anyway, that's another thing I've said there. So let's just go back and just to see if we can go through everything here, just to make sure there's. I mean, it's obviously claimed that it's just to do with the AC charging, so we may not see anything really different here as such, but that's the 8.3 then. So if you do get the 8.3, seems to be dealing with AC charging. Now, I don't do a lot of AC charging, so I'll need you guys to let me know in the comments what's actually changed on that. I know it charges up to 11 kilowatts, so does it now charge faster? Is that the change? So can you get 22 kilowatts out of that now? Because if that's the case, I'll definitely be uh, looking into that side of it for sure. That'd be very interesting, to be honest. But outside of that, I don't really know just what this actually has done in terms of outside of that. Everything looks the same when we go through everything here. Can't see anything different there. Energy, charge and discharge, charge port immobilizer system. Oh, that just immobilizes obviously the thing inside there. Then you've got the smart charging for setting your times and that. So if you're from home, if you've got a home charger, you can set times for that, obviously to come on and go off. Outside of that, there's nothing on there. Energy, regenerative braking, I've got it on high. Regenerative braking is another thing of this car which could be a lot better. The high setting is still very, very. When I've got in the other car and then I come back to this one, I feel like there's no regen. That's how kind of like they're quite different in that respect, Comfort driving, auto fold side mirrors. I don't know what that's got to do with comfort driving really, but like I say, then you've got your steering assist, your brake assist, have that in comfort. Comfort parking, don't know what that is really. ESC off, intelligent assist, hill descent control, AC. That's for setting how long you have it on for if you're doing preconditioning of the car. Automatic purification, auto internal. That basically is the air purifier. So if you go through a built-up area and there's a lot of pollution, that will come on automatically and just clears out the bad air around really. Probably more useful in China than here, I would almost guess. Internal circulation upon parking. Well, I don't see the point of that really. Then there's your service details. Then there's your ADAS. Why am I doing another review of the entertainment system? You've seen all this, haven't you? Before, so I don't really need to do that. But anyway, we're caught up to date. So what I'd say is, can you let me know in the comments down below on the 8.3 updates, probably here in the UK, it could be different in where you are, what the AC changes have happened to the car. Because I can't think for a minute that it wouldn't be getting 7.4 kilowatts on a capable charger for AC. So what's the changes that's actually happened there, and that kind of a thing? That'd be interesting to find out. I'll even do some research to see if I can actually find out. I just saw it come up yesterday. The 8.3 is there, so I thought, brilliant, we'll do a video on it. I will do videos on all of these, even if it's as insignificant as this one appears to have been. I'll still do videos on them just to, give you the base, give you what's actually happened, because sometimes there might be things not written there, but they've actually changed. And if in driving, if I get any different dynamics to anything I feel or whatever, I'll also report back on that. Anyway, thanks guys for tuning into this one. Just a very short video addressing a couple of things there. I love BYD. I think they're a great company, and I think they're going places. Just the areas that I've mentioned so many times before, which is driving dynamics and charging speed. That's the only downsides I have with this car, and it makes it difficult to then road trip it and that kind of stuff. needs to be a lot quicker, really, than what it's currently got in this particular ATTO3 anyway, which I classify as a family car, really, because you can get the family. It's a car you can get your family in so comfortably, and you know you should be able to be able to go on longer journeys really with it. Just put that down a little bit, guys. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and I shall catch you on the next one. I'm going to be doing a few on the Skoda actually now. If you like Skodas as well, keep tuned for those. There's a couple of things coming up on that particular car, which is still a lot of videos to be done about that one. It's just getting the time, guys, in between everything else that goes on. As most of you know, I've got 2 channels, so I have another channel as well. So yeah, just trying to fit everything in is part of the problem sometimes. But thanks for your time. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry it wasn't much of a update really, but anyway, at least BYD are at least regularly doing these software updates, which is all we've ever asked for really as customers. To just keep on improving things and keep on changing things is what we want to see, isn't it? So brilliant stuff. Anyway, I shall catch you on the next one, as I say, and you have a good day.